journal. Today we are going to continue to discuss about the semi-trailer. But this time we are not going to discuss any type of semi-trailer. We are going to discuss about the structure of the semi-trailer. As you can see from the picture, this is a May beam. It's like our May bones in our body for the semi-trailer. Each of the trailer usually have two to support the trailer, have the strength to do the payload, something like this. We produce the May frame at the beginning before we produce any other part of the trailer. Of course, you can see it's we are building those parts together, but we build the frame as the first priority we need to do. And we usually do the testing on each position of the May beam. We need to make sure it is a little bit to the upside. Here is a picture showing you how we are checking the May beam and making the re-welding when we find the defects. And here is a picture we are working in the night to do those May beam. This picture is the web plate. Each plate would mounted to each May beam. So the May beam is usually have three sides. One is this, the top flange. This is the top flange. And we also have the web in the middle. Then we would have the bottom flange at the bottom. So the picture we were seeing, this one, it is a web plate. The web plate is in the middle to support the top flange and the bottom flange. This is a drawing we are explaining to our workshop, not making a May beam totally straight, but we need to make sure the May beam has a little bit curve to the top. So that's when you are having the payload from the top to the trailer, then it would be flat. That's very important for all the trailer factory to do that. After that, we would measuring each trailer and try to make sure that dimension is working very well, because that is related with the service life of the trailer. Here you can see we are using the two web plate for this May beam, because this May beam is for the heavy loading low bed. So we use the two web plate and top flange, bottom flange to build a box structure. It would have more strength. You can see the welding seam along this way. Here is the welding seam. Here is the second welding seam at the bottom. That's the May beam for every trailer almost. Okay, here I'm going to show you some small parts. We built some small parts while we are building the May beam, like this one. This one is a part of the May beam gooseneck. It is separate from the deck May beam, so we would assemble them together as one. But during that time, we are producing the May beam. we would also do the small parts production. Something like those parts are necessarily and specially designed for special purpose in different trailer, in different part. Like this one, you can see it has a pin part. You can put a pin between those two and it becomes some special design purpose. And this one you can see it's a special structure which we may use it for the reinforcement. Also something like this. Those spare parts, something like this one is called front booster. It is like the main beam, but not in the horizontal way, but in the vertical way. If you see, it is a 2D dimension drawing. It is in the front and joined together with the main beam, becoming a square structure. So here is how we store the main beam after we finish the design, and then we make some small part like this to do the preparing for the assembling. This one is easily to see. This is a rear part of a low bed. Those pins are for the rear ramps. Like this one, we are assembling those parts after we build all of them. This is cross member. We put the cross member across the main beam to get a structure to build the frame like this. We need to check the welding quality time to time and to find the defects. If there are any defects, and we need to repair it, such like this one. If we have something like this, it would definitely affect the service life of the trailer. So we need to check it and make sure it is being repaired before we do any delivery to our client. Here you can see it is not a constitute welding seam, it's just a welding with gaps, but we also do that differently. This picture is showing a defects to our workshop because for those gaps we need to do it like this. Here is the welding, and if we do one gap welding here, and we should do another side in between of the gap, so that would give enough strength for this stiffener. If we do the constitute welding like this, the poor quality would also not acceptable. We need to weld it well. We can show you some other defects during the checking. So we can see there's a hole here we need to repair. And we do the tack welding before we really do the serious welding. So here is some other welding defects. And this one you can see is at the bottom of the trailer. We're usually also checking it. After assembling, we would get a frame. So this one is a low bed frame, you can see. It has been assembled from the main beam, cross member, and the side beam, front booster, rear booster, ramps together. So that's how we build the semi-trailer in our workshop. Of course, our QC or our leaders of the production team would check the quality time to time, and they would check if it is working well or not. And our employee also would feel would feel something like this for the QC to check. And after that, we usually do the assembling of the running gear system, but this is not today we are going to talk about. Today we should just talk about the different trailer frames for your information. And then after that, we assemble the running gear. It would be like this without painting. Then we have the checking sheet there and checking all the welding seams before we do any paintings, like this one. The suspension hanger welding is quite important for all the trailers. As you can see, this is a suspension hanger. This is a suspension hanger with an equalizer. This is an equalizer. This is a suspension hanger. This is equalizer. Equalizer pin here. That's the part the running system is attaching with the frame. So we need to check the welding seam here very carefully before we do any axle assembly. So that's how we do it before we do the axle assembling. We still find the defects during the checking, so we still need to do the repairing even when we finish the assembling. Some people would forget where should be welded, so we need to weld it well. Like this one, you can see our welding quality is such like this. We do the welding according to the manual book quite well, and we check the welding very carefully to make sure the quality to our client would be ensured. This is the welding on the side beam. You can easily see the welding quality are a little bit different between the main beam here and the side beam here, because that main beam is made by the machine and that welding seam is made by the human hand. So that's the difference. Then we should check all the welding system and weld the suspension hanger to the bottom flange. Like this one, we also need to consider the reinforcements plate and a small part. We need to make sure all the necessary and important parts are not moving for any of our trailer. Okay, this is the low bed frame, and now we are going to see the flatbed frame. Here is the flatbed frame in the workshop. So we use some device, not only the flatbed but all other trailers we need to weld when it's upside down. So we turn it upside down and our workers would go to the different platforms and do the welding. After we finish the welding, we would stack it like this. Then we would go make it painted well. And of course, the flatbed is also having the cross member to cross the two main beams and to attach the two side beam in the left and right. This picture could give you a better view. You can see the cross member cross between the two main beams in the middle and attached with the two side beam in the left and right side. Then we would put the deck on top of it. This is before we put the deck on top of the flatbed. This is we put the floor on top of the flatbed. We have the steel plate as the deck and we have the wood timber for the deck. Each depends on how our client was required. Here is some picture of our terminal trailer in the workshop. So this is how we are doing the production roughly in our workshop, just for information. And this is a picture to show you how the drop side trailer has been built. The same way, like the other trailers, we built in the same order, just with different point of view. You can see how the different trailer is building in the same workshop by the same team of people. Here is more picture of our drop site. Here is more picture of our dump trailer. And you can easily see the picture. We are in the end of the production, but before that, we would do all the procedure like what I just said in this video. But differently, the dump trailer would have a superstructure up from the chassis. So we call the box the superstructure because all the semi-trailer with the chassis would have the different superstructure to have different use. This is how we build the dump semi-trailer with the box at the superstructure. So this is the turning pin at the bottom, and we need to grease it, of course. This is how we are checking. We need to check the rear gate different than the skeleton or the flatbed because we have a one superstructure, one box on top. So we need to have a more part to check before we do the painting. You can easily see the sign. We have a marked here. We need to do the repairing, something like this. This is on the top of the dump trailer. This is the kingpin position, the kingpin assembling on the dump trailer. Because we would have a box on the top, so we need to check here very carefully before we do any assembling, because that would be dangerous if you have a huge box on the top. If you have anything you need to repair, that would increase the risk of your maintenance people. This picture, you can see the frame of the dump trailer. We call the frame is chassis. Chassis like all the small cars, like a skeleton trailer, but later we would have a box on top of it. This is how it looks right now. We check everywhere, and we even check the pin to the middle, and we check the middle reinforcements, and then we would put a box on top of it. Of course, we build the box separately, like building other parts. Here are some pictures to show you the Murphy trailer, a roll-on roll-off trailer, rural trailer, how it been built in our workshop. Same procedure, same idea, but differently is the Murphy trailer had the two main beam at the side beam. So it has not been designed same like the other trailers, but it is a special design. Many people would say, why you are showing this? Are you not afraid to get copied by the other semi-trailer factories around you? Of course we are not, because we are sharing the right information to the right people. So if they have the right information, they can get the trailer right. Whatever they get it from us or get it from the other semi-trailer, as long as they could get a good trailer, that would help them. So this is the major purpose we are making this video, to introduce ourselves to you and to introduce the trailers to you. So here is the pocket as we were seeing in previous video. Here is the post hole for the post in the left and right side to hold the pipes or the wood in the middle. Here is the device. You would put the ropes and fasten it on top of it. Okay, here we can see the forklift pocket has been built in the factory. This is how it looks inside. Of course, we cannot make the two holes in the each side of the main beam. We need to have the reinforcements to give it enough strength and to weld it well. This is how we are checking the welding of inside structure. Here is very important. This is when we are doing the check the plate on top of the roof trailer. This is the material we have been made before we do the assembly. Okay, I think that would be enough for us to see our trailer manufacturing now. Hope you guys enjoyed to see our today's video and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Bye.